Hi, my name is Chelsea Hurd, and I am doing the video blog for my new student dialogue, which was called Boys Don't Cry about vulnerability and gender roles. We had a lot of active voices in our group. Everybody was really open about their experiences, and in the beginning, those who were kind of shy ended up opening up. um, so we started off with the definition, well, defining what dialogue really was, and it, said to be like a conversation between two or more people. So it wasn't a debate or argument or anything. It was a really big group of people having a conversation about a specific topic. I do believe that my group achieved true dialogue because, like I said, it was just like a really big group of people. We were all kind of discussing. Everybody was listening to everybody and willing to share. Nobody was really quiet, or no one was being rude or disrespectful. Everybody was listening and just talking. Um, Nobody really judged anybody. I don't think it wasn't a lot of judgment. It was, yeah, it was just a really big conversation. Um, our instructors were really good. They broke the ice very easily. We went around. We started off with a connection icebreaker. You know, if you had a connection with somebody, then you ran to the middle of the floor and you connected with them, and it just kept going until we had this huge link of people. Um, After that, like I said, people start warming up. Then we did this pie chart activity, I guess, where we wrote down what makes up most of our lives, and like most of my life is made up of about my health and my religion, obviously school, my social life, and my family. um After that, we did a open survey kind of like thing. So it's like, you had this room. If you agreed with the situation, you went to one side. If you disagreed with the situation, you went to the other. And if you kind of didn't know where you stood, you were in the middle. And if you somewhat agreed, you were in between there. If you somewhat disagreed, you were in between there. Um, it was really interesting because when it got down to the topics about crying and emotions, most of the males kind of were like, no, it's not okay to cry. Like they were all on one side, and the girls were like, well, it is kind of okay for guys to cry, like, it's cool. And they were all on one side, and some people, you had some boys on the other side and some girls on the other side, but for majority they were broken up, and that was a really interesting thing to see. Then I guess after that, that's when the dialogue obviously came into play, and we all sat in one really big circle, and everybody started talking about their experiences and what they were going through and why they thought it was okay for boys to cry and why not. Some of the guys in the room were homosexual, and they were basically saying that they felt like it was okay for boys to be vulnerable, and they said that it was okay for them to cry and everything. And some of the guys who weren't, you could tell they were kind of like, oh my gosh, but they moved on with the situation, and we're basically not debating, but we're stating their opinions and how most guys shouldn't cry. They should be that male figure in the household, and they should be the ones, the strong ones, and in case anything happens, they should take care of the situation and everything like that. Um, for the Something else that was really interesting was that a lot of people were saying that they think dads play a really big role in a boy's upbringing, and most guys who didn't have their fathers felt more vulnerable to emotions, and they felt more open, and they felt that it was okay to cry. They were the ones who were saying, it's fine. He knew, this one guy in particular knew that, it was okay to cry, but he also knew that he was the man, and that, in any case, he would take care of any situation, but he knew his emotions were open to anyone, and he wasn't hiding that, and he didn't think that made him any less of a man if he did cry or anything. Um They also said society and media played a really big part into this, you know, like how media looks at a man, also how media looks at a female, because most females in the room were saying that um, they didn't know how to be the man figure or masculine figure in case someone needed that. Like, they didn't know how to be there for somebody else, like be there for a boy if he was to cry, because, you know, well, in society and in media, females are not less of a man, but more known to be weaker or like the damsel in distress. So that was really interesting. Um, if I had to do this again, I would probably do, if not Boys Don't Cry, we'll probably do interracial dating because it seemed kind of interesting. But overall, the experience was really, I enjoyed it. I can say that I did enjoy it. I felt like I learned a lot about people because the dialogue, like, you need dialogue in everyday life because you're conversing with people of all many different backgrounds, and you really need to know how to talk to people and understand where they're coming from. You need to know, you know, you need to get to know people because you're going to be dealing with all kinds of people throughout everything, like, you know, school, jobs, work, it doesn't matter. And you need to learn from people past because, well, from someone else's mistake, you can also learn a lesson from that. So I would say that this dialogue was very is a very useful tool in my university experience. Our two teachers were really good. They were very, very open, and they were really good. Like, they didn't make anything awkward. They were really easy to talk to. They brought everybody's personalities came out as soon as they warmed up and got everybody moving. So that was good to know that, you know, we had people there who were actually trying to get our attention and weren't there just for their job. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, basically I learned that pride can stand in the way of a lot of things, and that I personally do believe that it's okay if boys cry. But yeah, so that is my student dialogue. Bye.